Welcome to another episode of Did She Just Say Chakra? We are here today and ready to talk about the chakra system. It's our very first episode about chakras, which is kind of crazy since that's the name of our podcast. But yeah, we've had some good stuff. And leading up to this, we talked about Reiki with Sheena, and I really love that last episode that we did. So hopefully you went out and watched that. But today we're going to dive deep into the world of chakras and where they came from, what do they mean, what are all the different chakras. So I'm going to
how do we balance them?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that what's cool about doing this after the session with Sheena is that really the work of Reiki is helping to balance out those chakras and make sure that they are flowing with the energy the way that you want them to. And if not, and if they are imbalanced, maybe why. I had a session yesterday with a friend who does, I call her a friend. I hope she would say I'm her friend too. But anyway, had a session yesterday and she was like, I could balance you, but then tomorrow you're going to be just as imbalanced, right?
Really?
Because if you don't know why you're out of balance, then it does no good.
Really?
And so
that's interesting.
It was super interesting. And so she's like, so let's talk about, are you in balance, yes or no? And if no, why not? And what are we going to do about it? And that was so powerful for me yesterday when we were talking. So chakras, what they are they're energy centers or wheels or discs that energetically flow throughout the body. And there's a lot of discussion in different schools of thought about how many there are. We are going to focus on the 7 main chakras.
Yes.
And also there's discussion about how to say it. We learned after some education that it's chakra, like chocolate, but chakra. Chakra. Yes. So there are 7 main chakras that we're going to focus on today, energy centers throughout our body, and how they work together to help us to be in balance and ready to be our best selves.
So when we're talking about the chakra system, it's really like the energy centers that fuel the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual body, right? It's like all of those things combined. And I had never really dove in and tried to figure out or tried to understand where did we even come up with chakras, right? And so you and I kind of were focusing on this a little bit before, but it sounds like the Vedic traditions or the Vedas in like 400, 800 BCE. I don't know exactly what that means, but they started to recognize and talk about this type of energy system and how they like recognized it and how they fixed it in the body, and then it just kind of evolved from there with different ethnicities or cultures. Yeah. Yep. So it is interesting to see where it started, how it's evolved, and to me, it's like sometimes like I'm a really woo-woo person, but I also want to know kind of like the sciencey side of things. Like, can we see the chakras and you can talk a little bit about that, right?
Yeah. So my friend who I was talking about last night, she has the system where you can check your aura, like an aura camera, but it also checks to see how your chakras balance based on different things that you do. So if you are using essential oils or crystals or just different cool things that you bring in, how your chakras respond to those different tools. Michelle is her name. She's amazing. If you'd like more information, we can share that out as well. But Michelle does great things for the system and keeping your body in balance and helping you to balance yourself.
Like one of the things that I learned when we were reading about the chakras is that a lot of times, like if you aren't super in tune with your body, you don't really know when your chakras are off. Maybe like, and we're going to get into the different, but like maybe you're not feeling very safe or stable or whatnot, and so you kind of intuitively know like maybe my root chakra is off, but you really know when it actually develops a symptom in the body, because the chakras are actually like they correlate with certain parts of the body too, like different organs, like your thyroid or your sexual or reproductive organs or things like that. And so there is some definite physical aspects of it, but also the energetic aspects of it that you see on the aura cameras, and I'll put pictures of the aura cameras on here so people can see. And I think what I asked Stacy was like, can you see the difference, like the before and afters of because your aura focuses on like the energy around your body, right? And the chakras are more like energy systems within your body, and those change with different things that you do to try to heal and get those moving, right?
And the way that the camera that I was using, it shows it in a bar graph format, not so much actually on my body. So just to kind of think about it that way, it was a bar graph format, and super cool. I mean, so sciencey, and I geek out over it. It was the coolest thing. I keep telling her she has to do it. It was so
I've done
cool.
like, so my aura had red, and it had it around the body, so it showed like, then we did a meditation, and then we did it again just to see how it shifted, and it was so interesting how things became more calm and relaxed and joyful around the body. So there is the science part of it. There is the woo-woo part of it, I would say, too, just dealing with the energy. But we talked about this with Reiki, like, everything's energy, right? We know the sun's energy. We know our food is energy. And we can have a thermal camera that looks at our, heat and things around your house or your body, and can weigh out that thermal energy. And it's the same thing with the chakras or the energy centers. It's not anything different.
Yep. So if we were to start at the base and talk about our root chakra, I'm excited to share this. So yesterday, the root chakra focuses a lot on like safety and security. It focuses on survival, grounding, money is kind of, where that all comes in. And a lot of times my root chakra is not always the most stable, I guess, if you could say it that way. Dealt with some trauma and some of those things that we've talked about before. And I'm not always good at knowing when I'm hungry or following those cues if I'm hungry, thirsty, those kind of things. What was super intriguing is that in my reading yesterday is that my root chakra was super strong. I was like open and strong. And she was like, I'm not sure why. She's like, do you know why? Because usually that's one that we talk a lot about.
Yes.
And I said, well, I just ate lunch, and it was 2:00 in the afternoon. And I said, I just ate lunch. And she's like, well, that's interesting because I was super lightheaded when we started. But then now I'm feeling more grounded and more stable. And I said, well, way to go, me. I ate lunch. I was hungry. I was lightheaded. And I took care of my basic needs. So that means that my body responded appropriately.
Yes. You were supporting. Cool. You felt, yes. Yep. That is cool. And it's simple, right? Just listening to our bodies and responding with something positive. And
yep.
So a little bit more about the root chakra. It's associated with the color red, and as Stacy said, it's like stability, support, your foundation, and just being grounded and centered. And so if you wanted to look at like an affirmation to really reinforce balancing your root chakra, you could just say the affirmation, I am grounded and centered. I am grounded and centered. And the color is red, and the organ that's associated with the adrenals, or with the root chakra, would be the adrenals. So that's where, if I'm looking at how can I support my body, I'm going to support the adrenal system. I'm going to look at red stones to support that. And then also, like, we haven't talked about this yet, but it's important to eat the rainbow, because the rainbow, those different rainbows of food support the different chakras. So when they say, like, eat the rainbow, that's why we eat the rainbow, because we want to support different areas and different organs of the body. And so when you're eating food, like, that is intuitively something you can do. Just make sure when you're buying groceries, you're buying different, greens and reds and yellows as far as veggies and fruits and things like that.
Root vegetables are really good for the root chakra. And then grounding activities like gardening, walking, those are really good. Earthing, yep. Yes. Taking off your shoes and walking in the earth is kind of what she's describing there. Those are all great things. Also, listening to drumming or things that bring in that feeling of being out in the earth are also really good things to help if your root chakra feels a little bit off. So those are some good things to do if you're feeling a little anxious or just a little bit off down in that root chakra.
Yeah, like you're kind of out here and all over the place and in your head.
Yep.
focus on your root, get grounded and centered, grab a red crystal, and just say, I am safe, I'm supported, I am grounded, I am centered. And you made me think of, we need to probably back up a little bit, because there are different ways we can support our chakras, and that we're talking about within each of the 7 chakras. And so, like, things I wrote down are like things we can do to balance out the energy of the chakra, or to support it, would be like meditations, affirmations, reflections, sounds, humming, listening to different frequencies, movement. We can move things out of the body or just move that part of the body. Foods, crystals, stones that support those different, and then oils or scents. Different scents make you, help support the system. And so there's a lot of easy things that you can do once you know what goes where and what system needs what. There's really simple tools to help support it that you can do on your own. You don't have to go to someone special to balance out your energy system. I think it's much more impactful a lot of times, just like with a Reiki session that I had. They're going to really be able to get to the root of the issue, help balance that, and then give you a little bit of insight. But you can definitely read up on these different chakras and do things on your own at home with those different tools.
I'm laughing because she said the root of the issue, and really, it's her crown that was off, not the root.
My crown was so... And I've been told that, 2 days in a row that my crown was completely shut off, and then Sheena was like, oh, yeah, you're definitely... We're going to need a balance up here. I'm like, shocker.
So I think exactly what she said. The other thing that's really helpful, movement is something that's been... everybody says to me, you need to move, you need to move. But yoga poses, there are certain yoga poses that really open up the body. It's not like you have to go through a whole routine, but just specific poses are really tied to different chakras and really help to open up the body in different ways. So
yes.
We're not going to show you those today. Maybe next
Come
on. Maybe another bottle of wine and we can help you out with that. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But as we move up the different chakras, we started with the root and we gave you kind of an idea.
Yes.
And as we move up the body, we'll share, like she said, a way to help with sound, movement, food, maybe a crystal or a color that helps. And even if it's just visualizing that color, that also helps as you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So should we hit the sacral?
Yeah. So we're starting at the root. We're moving up the body. And we're going to the...
Sacral.
Is it sacral next?
Yeah. It is. Sacral is all about creativity and emotions. So when it's blocked, you might feel like you're numb, like emotionally numb, or your creativity is stifled, or you have some intimacy issues. So when that sacral is blocked, its color is orange, and it's linked to the water element. So some things that you could do is think about things that you enjoy doing, like painting, or dancing, or writing. Allow yourself to be spontaneous. So you don't have to plan every single thing that you need to do. I spent a lot of time this summer being spontaneous and creative, and it really helped to open up some of that sacral chakra work that I was working on.
Yeah, and that's tied in with the reproductive organs. So orange, and then the reproductive organs are your sacral. So if you're, which is so interesting, that the creativity aspect and the... kind of interesting how that all ties in together, but creativity and creation all in one area.
Yep. Taking a bath, being by the lake, the ocean, eating orange foods, oranges, sweet potatoes. What else is orange? Yams? I don't know.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, and just an affirmation I wrote down is, I am creative and connected. I am creative and connected. Just a simple one.
Yep. Okay. So when we move up to our solar plexus, that is your power center. So your solar plexus is that power center, and when it is out of balance, then you might feel powerless, lack confidence, or maybe be overly controlling.
And solar plexus is is it right above the belly button or right around there?
Yep, right around that belly button. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it is so it's associated with the yellow color and your digestive system and your pancreas. Those are the organs that are associated with the solar plexus.
sunlight is a big one for it. So spending time in the sun. I'm going to say even just having some vitamin D. If you're not taking vitamin D here in Iowa, we need to get lots of it.
Yes.
Eating yellow foods like lemons, bananas, corn. I was going to say cornbread. I feel like we're playing like categories or something. lemon drops. I don't know. Doing some core strengthening activities.
Yes. Yes, and a good affirmation is, I am one with the power of the universe. So you are very, like, that is so powerful, right? Like, it's not just only us, it's the power of the universe within us. You know, we are all connected. And so that affirmation, I think, is super
beautiful.
Strong. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So really, you know, it's kind of like each chakra has its own set of tools. You know, we each have like a toolbox for each of our chakras as we move up. And really keeping track of, it's not like if you're eating corn, it's not going to, bad example. Eating bananas is not going to hurt you or hurt your other chakras, but knowing that it's going to really help your solar plexus is just good to know.
So next up is our heart center, or our heart chakra, which for me is like, I don't know, this is like, I feel like the most powerful one, and if we're off, we feel it the most. I don't know why. I think it's just kind of the center, like, where I always imagine energy coming in when I'm doing my meditations from Mother Earth, and then my guides in the universe, and kind of meeting at the heart. And it's like, this is where we give and receive love. And it's like love is like the most powerful healing thing, right? And so I love this chakra.
So if you have a blocked heart chakra, though, you might feel isolated or lonely or have a hard time forgiving somebody maybe for something. Yeah. So if you are wanting to unblock your heart chakra, you might eat green peppers. What else is green?
Yeah, green is the color. I wore my green.
Yeah, you wear green a lot. You look good in green. Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting why I wear green.
You do.
Thank you.
You do. Yeah. What else is green? Veggies. Green leafy
veggies.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Spinach, kale, some of those kind of things. Spending time in nature, especially nature walks or just getting out and about, can really open up the heart. Practice sending love and compassion to friends, affirmations, gratitude journals, all those things.
I give and receive love unconditionally.
Oh, I love that.
And that's always like, actually, Mike and I were talking about this last night because I don't even know, I'm not sure why it got brought up, but it was around forgiveness and things like that. And I'm totally different. Like, I can be upset about something and I can be like hurt by something, but that's all the more reason I'm going to send them love and light. And like, I don't know what their story is. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they are the way they are, but I know that I can send them love, and hopefully that like gets rid of that. Because if you're stuck in that anger or I don't know, all those different emotions, it's affecting you. It's not just affecting them, it's affecting you too. So focusing on sending and receiving unconditional love, even when it's not a person you really necessarily agree with what they're doing or the type of person they're being, the best thing you can do is for yourself and for them is just to send and send out that unconditional love to them, that see that green energy being sent out to them.
And pink's my favorite color, and sometimes the heart chakra can be associated with pink. And I love that because see, you're green pink.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're so cool. Oh my gosh, I keep dropping things over here.
We're getting all excited.
I know we are.
Green is also associated with the thymus gland, which is like immune system centered, and so just so you know that piece of it as well. Moving up to the throat chakra. This is an interesting. I love this chakra because it's like so powerful. Like this is like you authentically communicating who you are and what you stand for, and speaking your truth, right? Speaking your truth.
Yep, absolutely. Communication, self-expression. The color is blue, and I think that is really important. One of the things that is hard for me sometimes is I can feel my truth, but my truth doesn't always come out in the way that I feel, or I can speak my truth around some people, but not always around everybody. So it's like, how do you ensure that that truth goes around all? So when we think about the blue, so when it's blocked, if it's out of balance, you might have trouble expressing yourself, kind of like I described.
Yeah.
Feeling unheard or struggling maybe with some honesty or something like that. So singing or chanting helps to unblock it, using your voice. Singing in the shower, chanting or using mantras helps.
Yeah, I speak my truth. I love that. I love that mantra.
Definitely.
And it's associated with your thyroid gland as well, just to throw that in there. But yeah, I think it's interesting how it's evolved. I think like root chakra a long time ago was like my big thing, right? Like I always came up root. And then like 3 or 4 years ago, it was always my throat. Like, and I was like transitioning, like talking about my woo-woo side of things and who I am authentically or whatnot. And now all of a sudden it's here. It's so, I think it shifts I think it's shifting all the time, but it is interesting, like how you go through different phases of your life and how that corresponds with those phases of kind of becoming who you are.
So it says to eat or drink blueberries, of course, and it says blueberry tea specifically. Ooh. And I love that because that's what I have been drinking a lot of lately. I love blueberry tea, and I mix blueberry and lemon tea together, and that's delicious.
That sounds amazing.
Some gentle neck stretches can kind of help with that throat chakra a little bit. And then journaling. So we know how important journaling is, and Nicole's so good at it, but really getting those thoughts out can really help with communication.
Yep. Moving up to number 6, the third eye chakra. This is kind of located right here in the middle of your forehead, above the center of your eyebrows. That one is specifically talking about vision, seeing things clearly.
Intuition. Yes. Intuition, trusting your gut. Which is funny to me that this is intuition and not like down below where your gut sits.
Well, and I think that's interesting because like if we kind of dive into a little bit of, or we will later dive into a little bit of human design.
Yes.
And they talk about, the root chakra and how that, like some people feel intuition here, some people feel it here, some people feel it here. It's different for everybody. So it is interesting that you brought that up.
Yep. So if you feel like it's blocked, you might have a hard time trusting your gut. If for some people, like you said, you might lack some clarity, or maybe you kind of feel disconnected from your intuition. That might happen for you. So maybe you practice some mindfulness, quiet your mind, connect with your inner wisdom. Those are some good things to do. That meditation piece is just really important to help with your third eye. Eating dark berries or purple grapes, so indigo color, beautiful color. Practice some visualizations at this time is really good.
Yeah. It's associated with your pituitary gland, which is a lot of like pre-hormonal things, which is also interesting. But so like saying, I am connected. I listen to my guidance. I'm connected to my angels, guides, spirits, God.
It is recommended, I should say, that you spend time in darkness, which is interesting. But in darkness, you can see the light. Ooh. So think about that a little bit. When you are alone and you are quiet and your mind is quiet and you are in dark, then you can kind of see what you need to see and take it from there.
Hear, know, all those different clairs that will be another topic that we'll talk about.
Yes, I love it.
The clairs. All right, so our last chakra is the crown chakra. That's associated with the purple color, the pineal gland, and really our, divine, psychic energy. Like that's the energy center of
spiritual awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's spiritual awareness. God, the universe, your angels, your guides, all the good stuff. And I am blocked as hell, apparently, in the crown center.
She got it open a little bit, though. And she has a really good book. Where's your book?
Yes, my book's down here.
Yes.
So Stacey got me this beautiful book called Crown Chakra Healing Guide. So there's so many, and I am very interested in seeing what I can do because it's obviously an issue right now because multiple people have brought it up to me. And so, you want to be like, curious or questionable. Like you want to question chakras. Do you feel that a little bit?
I think you want to be curious as to why it might be closed or out of balance, and then what can you do to bring it back into balance?
Well, I think for me sometimes it's hard to, which is obviously when my crown is blocked, but like to believe stuff you can't actually see, right? Right? And I'm not much of that way anymore, but I think that when you have that validation, like, I saw a couple different people within a week's time frame, and they both told me that it's so crazy how like divinely, the divine timing of things, right? And we're talking about chakras, and I really hadn't experienced much around chakras, and then all of a sudden I have two people telling me that my crown chakra is blocked, and then I'm diving into like, okay, what does the crown mean, and how can I help on my own because ultimately, and that's what Sheena talked about last week, like we want to be a guide and a tool for you. But the goal is like, and why we're sharing with you, like if you all of a sudden, like I've been having headaches, right? And Sheena talked about that. Like that's where she was starting to balance my, like my brain, or the left and the right brain, and talking about my crown chakra. And it's so interesting, like that she validated that. And then like, okay, so how can I go home and work on this myself? Like I've been journaling about it. I've been, trying to like listen to my guidance and open up my crown chakra and do all the, okay, so what do they say
do
for
the work?
What's the movements? What's the,
Yep. So if you're blocked, you might feel disconnected from your purpose. You might lack meaning in life or feel spiritually empty. So if you have potentially a blocked crown chakra, so you need to have silent meditation. Practice deep, silent meditation to feel, to connect with higher consciousness. You need to, this is good. Fast. We just talked about a water fast and how cool that could be. Intentional fasting can help clear the mind. Spend time in nature, connecting with the vastness of the universe. And have gratitude practice.
Yeah,
which you do. You do really good at that.
I do journal. I have a gratitude practice. But it is interesting that you say that it's like not like kind of being in that limbo about your life's purpose. Because I'm really trying to shift some things in my world around, around my job and how I am of service to people. So I think that's so interesting. That's so cool. I love it.
And the color can be white or violet. So it just kind of depends on you maybe or how it comes to you, and it's really linked to thought or cosmic energy. So I think that's kind of a special way to think about it as well. And chakras are definitely a well-studied, well-versed part of our society and nature, right? It's been a part of history for years and years and years. Many different people have studied it, and I think that what we're just bringing, like you said, is just some awareness, and we encourage you to dig deeper. There's tons of resources and books and tools and master educators on it, and we just hope to pique your interest just a little bit and hope that you do some more learning and
there are some great providers out there that really focus on the chakra systems, and I think Sheena is one of those that I really felt very grounded, centered, and great after I left that session, and then also just having that awareness of that's what I need to focus on, and then going home and being able to look at that on my own and go deeper, because we all have. Like you got told the other day, we all have the tools, the awareness, the tools that we need to heal ourselves. But sometimes we just need that additional support, like Sheena, like who's your Melody, right? Or no?
Oh, Michelle Lundstrom.
Michelle, yes.
Michelle Lundstrom.
Like Michelle.
And then even the acupuncture. So we have Christine Krause who does Japanese acupuncture, and she does an amazing job of aligning the body through that tool. So there's lots of resources and lots of ways to help to get yourself in balance. And
I think this is kind of ties in with our Reiki episode the other day, but like a person who could really dive deeper into the chakras. I think as someone who is struggling with physical symptoms or those mystery, illnesses where you're really having a hard time finding a diagnosis or getting some medical treatment, maybe it is something where your energy centers are off, or you're holding emotions or traumas in the body, and having someone kind of help you with that awareness and how to release that and get those energy centers lined up and powering your body in the way it should, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical health. It affects all of those things, and we're learning that more and more every day. So
absolutely. If you haven't already, please make sure and subscribe. We love that you're watching on Facebook. Thank you so much. If you could head over to our YouTube page at Did She Just Say Chakra and subscribe, send it to your friends and have them subscribe. We would really appreciate it. Our goal is to get over 100 subscribers in this next week, so please help us meet our goal. We would really appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for watching.